Assalamu Alaikum. Hi my dear students, welcome back to our English class. Today we are going to learn what is the lesson name. The lesson name is The Merchant of Venice. It's a play by William Shakespeare. Already we have started this lesson. I hope you all watch the video regularly. Now take page number, all of you take your textbook, page number 187. Okay. Did you remember the story? I don't want to say again because it's a very long play. I hope you all know the characters, what is the story before what I have taught you. Okay. So the central character is Shylock and Antonio. Antonio and Bassanio are very best friend, and Bassanio asking the money to what is that? Antonio doesn't have the money, so he is asking help to Shylock. Okay, Shylock is the money lender, and at last what happened? He ready to give the money, 3,000 ducats. And after that, after getting the money, but Antonio want to repay the money. He want to give the money back at correct time, or else he will get the punishment. What is the punishment? He will give. He has to give the pound of flesh from his part of the body. And in between, Bassanio and Portia loved each other. They got married. Okay, for the sake of Bassanio, Portia, disguised as a lawyer, his name is Balthazar, and he was talking in the court. That is, we have seen that. Now, page number 187. But Shylock insisted on getting the penalty stated in the bond. Is he not able to pay the money? Asked the young lawyer Balthazar. So, in the court, everybody is there. Antonio is there, Bassanio is there, and everybody is watching the case. Okay, the trial is going on, and so the Balthazar is the what is that? Portia was asking. Balthazar was asking, is he not able to? He cannot able to pay the money? Asking. Okay, the young lawyer was asking in the court. So now Bassanio was answering. Bassanio then offered him the, so the result is coming. Okay, Bassanio then offered him the 3,000 ducats as many times as over he should desire, but yet Shylock refused it. So what the court is saying, Bassanio is offering the money, 3,000 ducats, as many times over as he should desire, but Shylock was refused to get the money. He still insisted upon having a pound of Antonio's flesh. What Shylock desired? Shylock desired to get the pound of flesh from Antonio's body. Okay, the young counselor now wanted Shylock to let her have a look at the bond once again. So what happened? The young counselor, the Balthazar, wants to look the bond once again. She wants to look at the bond once again. When she had read it, she was reading the bond. She said, "This bond is forfeited, and by this the money lender lawfully claims a pound of flesh to be cut off by him nearest Antonio's heart." So what happened? So here, what is a bond? That pound of flesh will cut off from his nearest Antonio's chest. Okay, so this is the bond they have written. Then he said to Shylock. Now the lawyer was saying to Shylock, "Be merciful, take the money, bid me tear the bond." So now Antonio was asking to Shylock, "Be merciful to me, because be merciful, take the money, please take the money and bid me tear the bond. Please tear the bond. Don't see the bond. Be merciful." Okay, But no mercy would be cruel Shylock show. He said, "My soul, I swear, no man can persuade me to change my mind." So what at last Shylock was saying? Shylock was a cruel person. He is a merciless person. See the characters how Shakespeare was projecting, okay, different kinds of human characters, how they are inhuman, they are not human, okay. So here Shylock is telling, "I swore you, I'm telling, no man can pursue me, no one can pursue me to change my mind." Okay, Shylock was telling. Now Antonio said, "Bethel, sir, you must prepare your bosom for the knife." So what happened? For the sake of Bassanio, he borrowed the money. The same for the sake of your friend, you have to prepare for your result. Okay, the knife was prepared to cut his pound of flesh. While Shylock was sharpening the long knife and feeling its sharp edge, Bethelser asked Antonio, "Have you got anything to say?" Antonio calmly said, "I have but little to say. I have prepared my mind to die." What is sad, you know. So here Shylock was sharpening. He was sharpening the long knife to cut Antonio's pound of flesh. So here now the Bethelser, who is Bethelser? Bethelser is a Portia, okay. She was disguised as a lawyer, counselor. So now the counselor was asking Antonio, "Have you got to say anything?" He's telling. Antonio calmly saying, I have little to say, but I have to prepare my mind to die." Okay. Then he turned to Bassanio and said, "Give me your hand, Bassanio. Fare you well. Grieve not that I have fallen into this misfortune for your sake." You know, see the words are what he was saying. Bassanio is a best friend of Antonio. So he is telling, "Give me your hand. It's a very, very difficult situation I am handling. Grief, sadness, had not that I have fallen into this misfortune for your sake. For your sake only I borrowed the money, but now I am trapped in the trouble. Tell my regards to your honorable wife, and I had loved you." So Antonio was telling to Bassanio, "You have to tell to your wife how much I loving you. For the sake of you I am going to die." Okay. In the deepest agony, Bassanio replied. So his friend Bassanio, close friend, agony means very suffering. Okay, suffering. He was deepest suffering in his mind. "Antonio, I am married to a wife who is as dear to me as life itself." So now only he was telling the truth to Antonio. Bassanio was telling, "I was married to a wife and we were very, very dear to each other. But life itself, my wife, all around are not considered by me above your life. I am willing to lose all. I would sacrifice everything to this devil here to save you." So what Bassanio is telling, for the sake of you, for save you, I can do anything. I can do anything in this world. Shylock now cried out impatiently. Now, so the conversation between Bassanio and Antonio was going in the court, but now Shylock was very, very angry and impatiently cried out, "We are wasting our time. I pray pronounce the sentence." Every heart was full of grief for Antonio. So everybody was grief for Antonio only. He was shouting, "Who is Shylock?" As the judgment was going to be announced, the young lawyer asked Shylock if they were balanced to weigh the flesh. The Shylock said that he had them ready. The lawyer also asked him if he had called a doctor. So now the lawyer was asking to Shylock, are you ready to call a doctor? Okay. So if you cut Antonio's chest, the blood will come out from his body. So we need one doctor. Shylock said no, added that it was not written in the bond he was telling. Bethelsar replied, it is not so named in the bond. What of for that? It was good if you did so much for the sake of charity. To this Shylock answered, I cannot find it. It is not in the bond. So what Shylock was telling, I cannot call the doctor. It is not in the bond. Now Bethelsar was replying. Who is Bethelsar? Bethelsar is Portia. Okay, she is disguised as a young lawyer. Bethelsar said, a pound of Antonio's flesh is yours. Okay, what Bethelsar was saying, a pound of Antonio's flesh is yours. The law allows it and the court awards it, but you may cut this flesh off from his chest. Okay, but this bond here gives you no drop of blood. So in this bond, what they have written, they written you have to take the pound of flesh only. You cannot drop a blood. Okay, you cannot shed a drop of blood. The words clearly or a pound of flesh only. If in cutting off the pound of flesh you shed one drop of Antonio's blood, your lands and goods are by the law to be confiscated to the state of Venice. So what the lawyer was telling, so in the bond what they have written, you have to take a pound of flesh from Antonio's part of body. If you shed a drop of blood from his body, your land and goods and everything will be confiscated. Confiscated will be taken to the state of Venice. They will take all the property. Okay. Hearing this, Shylock was totally confused. So, hearing this, Shylock was totally confused. It was utterly impossible for Shylock to cut off the pound of flesh without shedding some of Antonio's blood. Is it possible to cut the part of flesh from Antonio's body without shedding a drop of blood? It is impossible, isn't it? This wise discovery of Bethelsar saved the life of Antonio. So, Bethelsar was wisely talking in the court. This wise discovery of Bethelsar saved the life of Antonio. Okay. Children, I hope you all understand this play very well. Characters is very, very important. So, Antonio and Bassanio are very close friends. Shylock is the central character. He is a negative character. So, Portia and Bassanio was loving each other. So, characters and all, you have to know that and read the textbook. Okay, after watching the video, you have to read the textbook. Then only you will understand the conversation between the characters and all. Okay, so next class also we will continue the same lesson. Until then, take care. Assalamu Alaikum.